was a tweet from ZSS Becker, if you know him, and he said, if you don't think the altcoin market can pull back at something like 40 to 45% at any given time, you don't know crypto. And we are going to see these pullbacks. And that's why in the game where we're playing long, we don't worry about these pullbacks. If we're playing short term, we want to make sure we miss those 20, 30, 40% pullbacks, and we're taking those profits. We made it.
Well, hello, everybody. Midnight Madness here with Pope and Katie. Your daily fix. Let's fix together. It's safer. Not financial advice, of fucking course, Pope.
We did it. We made it. Happy long Easter, everybody. I'm excited to get into it. What a heck of a weekend.
It's been interesting, that's for sure.
We talk about this often, that, you know, if you are stressed, if you're upset in the market trend at the moment, you're playing with too much. But what did we talk about the last time we all got together? A lot of uncertainty. And I said in our Discord after our Thursday show, I'm out of the market. And I said I saw pain coming, and I still think we have more pain coming. We drew this ugly mess quick and dirty last week, and we said we had an up and we'd probably bounce in this triangle. And we had the possibility anytime to break out. And if we did, we would want to retest. We could stay in the path of this triangle. And if we consolidated, we could break up or we could break down. But what we saw when we were looking at it last week was a lot of uncertainty and a lot of greed in the market. And when we had our indicators, it was telling us it didn't know. We had this narrowing. And right now, when I add our indicators and I look at where we are in the current market cap, one, I'm happy I exited when I did. And right now, the indicators to me are actually telling us we have more pain. We have more money leaving the market cap.
So you don't feel confidence and it's going to hold that little area right there then?
It has to do quite a few things. And the reason where I don't feel confident is this. We talk a lot about trusting our indicators. Our micro bear and our micro bull, stochastic, Bollinger, critical fear and greed. We had our critical greed fire. We've cooled off. Our critical greed and our critical fear is no longer. But our micro bear to our micro bull is looking like it wants to cross. Now, if the money stays coming in over these this candle especially, so for the next 16 and a half hours, we can reverse this trend and we can go back. But as I said, full disclosure, I'm not in the market. I'm now sitting on dry powder, USDT. Our stochastic RSI is telling us we have more pain. We have more red coming. This is not a buy situation where it is down in here, like Bollinger as well. Not saying it can't just rebound and go from this area where we have support. But what we have right now, and we talk about a lot, is confluence. Are our indicators telling us all the same thing? Is our technical analysis telling us the same thing? That is confluence. Right now, just for me to look at this, I don't have it. I would love to say I did, but I don't. It looks like I'm approaching a micro bear. If I'm approaching a micro bear with our indicators, we all know price is going down. In this case, it's total market cap. And if market cap goes down, damn right price is going down in everything in crypto. Our stochastic is telling us it's not sure. It's uncertain. So, as I said in our Discord over the weekend, in times of uncertainty, I'd rather sit on my capital than deal with this. And I'm so glad I did, because from the time we talked to its complete down, we're looking at 283.7 billion left. Now we're at about 198, 200 billion. And when we talked about our market cap before, when we first started the crash, and we were handling this in the Discord and how to play it, we made these on the 4-hour. And you can see from this lower, even the upper channel, it's actually held. And we haven't adjusted any of this. So it's actually held this bottom channel from way back. And this was quick and dirty. It didn't break down to this support and consolidation area here. It appears on the 4-hour, we're on the belly. And this is where I like to look for confidence in the market. We had an entry here on stochastic. We're really in the, greed is over. People are panicked. And we're starting on the mend. So on the short term, on the 4-hour, this is where I personally, I like to wait for 1 or 2 more candles to be very certain. Because right now, yeah, we're starting to see the start of the belly, but we haven't seen it start to curve up. We haven't also got the cross. Now, holding the line going up, all indications are good. I want to see these lines tighten before I start to enter with my money into trading the total market cap.
Don't you see that there is a red out, or sorry, red in, you know what I'm saying? Red out, green in on that belly also, right? So I mean,
that's strong. We have
yeah.
2 indicators saying we're now to the upwards motion, because we're talking market cap. So we have an indicator, Bollinger, telling us here market cap is about to go up. We have the belly here saying market cap is about to looking like it's going up. We have the stochastic here at the same place saying it's about to go up. We've been fighting this line right here. Now, granted, in 3 hours, we've come up, we've come down. There's some strength from all the way down to here to come all the way up to here. Absolutely. I still see a lot of, I want to see this more for confidence, because this is the 4-hour. When I look at the daily, I'm not sold.
It's not showing what you'd like it to see.
I'm not sold. We haven't broken away from the bearish cross on the daily. On the 4-hour, we're starting to show recovery. And that's why I said if we wait for a few more to play safe and it follows this trend line, that we built ages ago, then I'm comfy. But there is nothing to me also indicating right now on the daily that we can't retest this area. We wicked all the way down to here. There's no reason a quick money move can't make us wick down to here. And sadly, right now, I have no support or evidence to it. Outside, I have this nice belly. I have 3 indicators saying, yeah. Just with market uncertainty right now, I just want to wait. And this is where patience. And if it does rip and it turns, yeah, we didn't time the entry perfect. But if it tanks and goes down to these levels, because it might not seem a lot, but 0.2 of a trillion is a ton of money in alts. And if you're trading alts, the difference between here and here is breathtaking. So I'm confident, as I've always said, I'm still very bullish. I believe we are to the upwards motion. But with the halving coming up, with everything going on, I want to see more evidence that this curls before it might come down again. And it's
But
there.
are you hoping that it'll hold that line then? I mean, obviously, yeah, that line there.
The strength will come from this line. We can take this one out just to, I think it was on a lower time frame, but it's the same.
Mhm.
Right. So if we can hold the line on the total market cap here, I have confidence and we can go. But I want to see, like I said, we have 47 minutes in this candle. I would like to see the next 8 to 12 hours to determine, to play safe. I played safe over the weekend, saved a lot of capital. Now I want to make sure we have confirmation to the uptrend. The biggest risk is when you buy these bellies, because you could have bought here in this belly thinking we're to the uptrend, and boom, here we are. We didn't get the cross. Sometimes those crosses are quick. So with everything going on right now, I'm going to personally, myself, try to protect as much capital as I can and err to the side of caution. And if you're in our Discord, you said, I'm on the hunt. And our majors that we look at on the regular. And I'm going to look between all of these and look for these entries in the next day. Even when we were talking last week, I was saying, hey, probably going to get on the weekend, and early this week will look like our entries. And here we are.
I'm excited to see, because we're doing the show, tomorrow, I guess today, later at 7 o'clock PST. So curious to see what the next few candles on the 4-hour show.
And when we look at the daily from what we talked about before last week, and we did this, and we did it quick and dirty, right now, where's it trying to fight? This line of support from these wicks and this change. We didn't change this from last week. And look where it's having trouble getting past right now. With this closing. So everything we have learned from we started either 2 years ago and 2.5 years ago on Twitter, or recently this year on YouTube, and now doing it this way, you would know just by indicators alone, this is not a good time to either enter a trade unless we're looking at possibly coming up to a short. I want to be positive. I want to be bullish, and I am. And so is the market. But we have dips. We have pullbacks. We have retracements. These things are healthy. We also talk about 3 candles down and ups and all the patterns. 1, 2. Makes sense we have an up. Where's this one? Where's this? I have a feeling there's more pain coming. It
I
will
just wonder how much pain, though.
I don't think we have massive, but revisiting down here, I think, is a probability,
Mhm.
you know? And until I have confidence and confluence saying we have stability and we're going to keep this trend up, then I'll re-enter. But this was our line last week that we had to hold. We didn't hold it. Now we can't even break it. And our micro bear is telling we might be entering a micro bear. We know there's pullbacks before halvings or right around halvings, sometimes before, sometimes after. We have had so much greed. Consolidation, or are we going to pull back?
Would you mind if we checked out the weekly at some point as well?
Ask and you shall receive.
Thank you, sir.
Let's take off the drawings. So, still on the weekly with nice spread, possibly starting to curl. Critical firing all the way up, but we got the dot. One down, 4 days to go. This here is contention. We need to see either stabilization to go off or we're going to come down. I don't think we're going to come down, but it doesn't mean we ain't going to come down to this area and then go. What is this telling us? Our buys are down here. Critical. We just left a sell coming down. This is telling us money is going to leave the market as well. And if you look at the Twitter feed, and well, maybe not after this last couple of days because the Chicken Littles come out faster than anything. But for the last little while, you could do no wrong in crypto. It was throw money at this, throw money at that. You're rich. That can only last for so long. So on the 4 hour, and we can see our 3 up, and we pass an entry here, we need to hold this over these next few candles here. Because if we can't turn this around,
More
we will
pain.
have more pain.
More pain.
And on the daily, it's not there. We got a lot of time left. And we've only got 2 down. We've retested this area. We're coming close. What's the news saying? Not that I ever give a shit about this. Probably try. All right. So this is what a bull is. This is what that is. And so the Silk Road, this was really interesting news today. And why did Bitcoin drop so much today? Well, first off, just by knowing the news of the day, and when we see this, we know dominance ain't going to be doing what we want it to do. And dominance has been in this area. I wish we had. Oh, do we still have it? Look at it. This is what we've been saying. We've been wanting it to come down. We want dominance down so we can get these alt runs. This is what we wanted to do, then maybe up. It's been doing this up, down. So this didn't play out, and we typically delete all of our last information from the weeks prior. But I mean, we are still in this rectangle. And we really want to, whoops. We really want to start having these kind of downs so we can have alt runs again. And right now, if we look at what's happening, money's flowing into Bitcoin. What does this mean? It's still a Bitcoin cycle. That is a good thing. I personally don't want an altcoin cycle yet. Why? Because after the altcoin cycle, we typically go down. It's typically the bear after that. And I want to see another year of this run. And I think we will. But if you don't think, like we started with that short by Alice Becker and a few others, that you can't wipe out all those profits that you just made over the last week, 2 weeks, 1 month, in just a couple of days, welcome to crypto.
It's been really hard actually watching it because I've got, a handful of long-term holds. And when these kind of things happen where it drops, it makes me nervous, obviously. And I know it's just you gotta stay strong and not, it's why you probably shouldn't look all the time. But yeah, when there's this much kind of indecision and things shifting, it worries me.
Like everybody else. But now we know Bitcoin is the barometer, right? We talk about that all the time. These are our old notes. All of this is our old notes. We had the layup. It broke out like we wanted to. It stayed above this consolidation area to hold this value. And it did it until here. But we didn't adjust this. We didn't add this rectangle today. We added this ages ago. Look where it held. It's going back up. So let's guess where our resistance is going to be. Right? That's 68.729. Now we need to fight to get above this line. So our first resistance isn't that 68.729. Our first resistance at the current price point is at 67.620. This downward trend to break. It's holding here. That's showing strength. And what is this? Probably a few percent, which for Bitcoin is massive. 6, that's huge. In 2 days, what do we always say? Average of 2 to 3% a day for Bitcoin. So is the sky falling? When we looked at it for the breakout, we said it can consolidate along the top, and we were hoping for a breakout to retest here. We also said at any time it could break out and just rocket up. And if it did, it would have to retest here. And we know with any time we have compression and a breakout that it could break out the other direction. Now we said with the bullish sentiment, we didn't think it would break out down. And that's why we don't have the drawings. And it didn't. And it held this area. This is why I'm not panicking. That's why the sky is not falling. That's why there's no reason to freak out. This, healthy. This is exactly what we talked about last week with the indecision of where we thought was going to happen. And if we think the money is going to leave the market for a bit in the total market cap, and we're coming up to a micro bear in the total market cap, where do you think is going to happen to Bitcoin? We're coming down into a buy on stochastic. What does that mean? Price is going to go down. We're coming into possibly a bearish cross here with it sharp. What does that mean? price is going to go down. We haven't been able to break the top of here or hold it. We've retested here. So the question now for me for Bitcoin isn't, is the price going to go down? Absolutely it is. Where's it going to go to? Is it going to be able to hold this? Is it going to come down to this 63,740? Or is it going to come down to this 61,524? You know, I even saw a post today on Twitter quickly that, you know, somebody was like, oh, 40,000 next. Like, come on. We know it takes stops up or down in either direction. Use your common sense. Play the market, play the sheeple, use the indicators. Our indicators don't know what the fuck's going on. There is a lot of indecision. It could turn, it could go up, it could hold this line, it could fight this line.
Supreme said, I feel market is turning around with London session opening.
Oh, I love his optimism, and I hope so. Like I said, long term, I'm totally bullish. Right? But we're not in a buy here. Coming up tight. We're under the median. Daughter, what? I'm not seeing strength yet. I want to personally. Oh, you don't get to see all my hand motions. I want to see the strength, but I don't. I see indecision in this price area, in this rectangle. And I don't see that as a bad thing. Up and down, we know, build strength. So to consolidate in this area for a while is a healthy sign. So for me on the sidelines, excuse me, I'm watching very closely because I agree with what you just said, Katie, and what Supreme said. It can take one market. They can wake up and choose love, and we're off to the races again. But we don't know that until we have confirmation with closed candles. And patience is everything. And it's telling us downward price action, telling us downward price action. We don't have 3 down yet. It makes sense to have healthy. Remember what I said to you before we went out for dinner? I said, I expect to have a few red candles down or green up and another red. I'm sleeping comfortably tonight, knowing tomorrow afternoon I'm going on the hunt, and I don't think I'm going to miss too much. And if we do get this turn in everything, well, I'm excited. But we always talk about not timing the bottoms, not timing the tops, waiting for that confirmation to make sure if I'm going into long, I want to make sure that's not going to become a micro bear. Otherwise, I'm catching falling knives.
So when you're looking at Bitcoin, I mean, we haven't looked at ETH yet. Are you waiting and watching, or would you putting in some ideas for dollar?
Oh, I'm waiting right now. I'm
Yeah.
waiting on everything. I think we still have some more down. I think the market's uncertain. And until I know what's going on here with the market cap, until I start to see a shift, I can't long at this point. I would rather miss a little opportunity where it takes off for the certainty to jump in and then wake up to a massive 10, 20, 30% wipe in alts. Right. Because those are gross. And then you have to hold it and round trip it. Even though, for example, Ethereum, here's an entry. We couldn't hold above the median. We got a micro bear. We got a micro bear right here. Couldn't break the median. Here's the median. Lots of downward action. Makes sense. We have little green. I have no indication that after this green, we're still on our way up. I have indication that we're on our way down. I have indication that we're on our way down.
Yeah, that is damning evidence, isn't it?
I mean, I just want to protect my capital. So these are the times where patience, in my opinion, pays, and it sucks because it's like FOMO, or you're watching, your favorite tokens that we've been watching. Like, oh, this is a good entry, but is it? What are we at here? Phantom. Whoops. This was our entry way down here in Phantom. If we zoomed in. And we would talk about that it had to hold up here or it's going to come crashing down. Now it's holding here. It's giving us a buy. Any major news? Major.
This is depressing me. Can we look on the weekly so I don't feel so bad?
Great. It's like you're in it. But on the 4-hour, belly. But here we had belly. And this is what I always want to remind people is we don't have the cross. And we all know I love entering on bellies. And when we were talking about it here, we said we wanted to see this W consolidation that we love, or to mellow out and get across here. Did it happen? Nope. And if we broke out of this top, we would need to test it, consolidate, and go. This was our local trend on the 4-hour. Did we hold it? So all this is broken. Now, we've called this like a champ. And we always talk about taking profits. So even if you didn't take profits, your entry is here, the price is here. You're still massively up. 145 some odd percent, just being quick and dirty. Now, would I panic sell and get out here? No. Because it is looking like we're about to turn around. Just like it did here. But I need more candles to be certain. And I think there's so much manipulation right now with the halving, everything going on, that we don't have that. Today's big news, probably everybody saw if you were on Twitter, was the government liquidated the Bitcoin, or moved. I don't even know if they actually sold it yet. I haven't had time to check. But they moved the Bitcoin that they confiscated from the Silk Road, which is worth billions. And just that alone today caused a ton of stuff to happen and price to come down.
Oof, look at that. Wow.
The government dumped on their own people today. It was amazing.
Dang.
Okay, so that's to 2-hour. Let's get to the daily. My apologies. So when we were in this area here, we said at this point here, we didn't know. That was the big question mark. If we couldn't hold this area here, we didn't know. And our entry was, I can't remember where our entry was now. Did I hide? Oh, I think we erased it. No. I'll have to go back, but we had a killer entry. It's easy to go back because it was the beginning of January. Our entry was down in here, and we told to get out and how much it can pull back, and how worst case scenario we would be consolidating down to this level here, right? Or we might come up to this level here. We weren't far off just for being quick and dirty and talking about it. But we still have high hopes for Cosmos. This pullback right now, this shakeout, this is where we talk about how I get excited about red days. If you've been FOMOing or thinking you've missed out for the last month, 6 weeks, little bit, welcome to leveling the playing field the last few days. You're getting entries that people wanted ages ago. But let's be smart about them. Let's make sure we're at this belly now, as opposed to driving down to these levels. And what's going to determine that is our market cap. And we don't have enough data right now to go, are we going down or more? At least I don't think we do. Our first entry way back in the day was this gold line. We've given multiple throughout all the time. We had an entry here, we had an entry here, we had an entry here, and we said how fast it come down, had to hold this area. These are all past shows. I try to keep somewhat stuff, but this is a prime example. Is if you would have rode this to the high, took profits, I mean, you're back into entries we were having 2 months ago close. We have critical fear firing. We have support way back in the day here on Kusama. So Kusama is one I would absolutely be watching over these next 3-4 candles to see if we can turn. Because if we can turn this on Kusama into this, well, we're just going to play this game again that we played earlier this year, which is let's take the entry here and walk up to there and make a 38%. But where we're at, in my opinion, is uncertainty. And I think I've made that clear for the last 40 minutes. And because I think we're at that, this could easily come down like that. And until I get a little more certainty, a little more, a few more candles, some more money flowing in to the actual total market cap, I'm going to stand on the sidelines. Oops. I'll shave a little percent off a possible win to save that possible loss, because we are in uncharted territory. I don't care what anybody says. We have never been here in the history of Bitcoin, ETFs, world finance, social economical situation ever. So does it really hurt to wait a bit if you're swinging? If you're longing and you've been in since the very beginning and you're holding for another year, this is just one of those dips that kind of sucks. And you go, doesn't really matter. I'm holding for the long term. But if you're playing these shorter games, this is where patient wins, because we don't have. And anybody that's telling you we have information to go in either way, or it's a shit token meme coin, we don't have that evidence yet. And to protect your capital, patience.
And of course, all of this is not financial advice. Of fucking course.
I mean, really.
Of course it's not. We're just hanging. This is just for funsies.
We talked about the narrative switching soon from AI to gaming. I mean, we have to get out of the meme narrative. We got into some nice entries in here, and then got into some nice exits. I was able to take some profits And then now we're in this. As we know, when anything else goes down, all these are going to bleed. And this is the importance of the short term and taking these profits. We're starting to look like a belly. We left a buy, but we know alts can turn just as fast as that dominance money flow. But from current price here to these, our goal to get back up to this level. I mean, if this is the curve and we start to go up from current price, our next area of resistance is going to be here. And our next area of resistance is going to be here and here and here. You know, and in here and in here and here and in here. And this is short term. This Vulcan Forge, a project we've been talking about ages. I bet you in, 3-4 months from now, we're going to laugh at these prices. And you're going to wish you got in at these prices. Because this has user base. This has a product. This has function. These are the epicenters. These are the things that go down the hardest when the markets crash. "24 days and went down 34%. Just pick randomly in there. 31 days and went up 90. We know when it's coming up to this line, it's going to hit resistance. And if it retests it, it's going to take off. So these are good projects, good trades. Let's wait. Let's show this patience. Lots of green up. Makes sense to have a little red down. Still very bullish on Vulcan Forge long term. Like I said in the Discord and probably a few times tonight, I'm out of everything. I took profits on Thursday. These were all lined up at the time. Markets can change. Look at this. Now, same thing. Oops. Big time is starting to do the same, looking like the belly. But we don't know. Let's wait and see. It's clearly fighting here. Hasn't broken. What's going to break this? Money flowing into it. If the market cap doesn't flow in, I'm going to go down to here next. And then not much down. We'll be in these areas. And if they do, these are great opportunities. Because look at where our target is. If you were jealous, you missed out on this trade up here, which was decent. I want to say it was like around 12% the trade we got in. Yeah. Right? It's still coming.
Pope and I were talking the other day about how we've seen a couple of commercials now for, just kind of mainstream commercials on. I think you saw one on TV. I saw one. I heard one on the radio just for exchanges now.
Yeah. Mainstream's coming in. Retail's coming in.
Mm-hmm.
The mass adoption isn't, but it's in the news. It's in everybody's faces, but it's still a scam. Look at this. Critical. When was the last time this fired critical? Greed up here came down. Everyone was in critical fear. Here. And where's the current price? Up here. Hasn't been critical fear since way down here. And this is another one we've been calling. Boom, boom, boom. This was our goal when we got in. Well, now we're getting that belly. And we know we're going to probably have resistance here. All right. But even from current price to its localized high, not even this one, 18, 30, you know. And this wasn't too long ago. This was only a couple weeks ago. So what I would like to see here, stabilization down here and then back up again. And Mana, Decentraland, has been around forever. It's another great gaming token.
I think we've only been looking at it on the show for 2 or 3 weeks at the most, I think.
Yeah.
This one joined us a little.
Yeah. This is one just been more picked out of the gaming token.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been poking around at it. I've been poking around it for about a year, but
yeah. So it's gonna want to fight to get into this consolidation rectangle, stay in, and then go. If it can't break in, it's going down, down, down. So Link, come on, Link, where'd you go? We gave 3 entries. I can't remember if it was the 21st or the 20th, and we had these as our 3 entries for like a stink bid because we had some gross wicks, and then around our price action, and then that. So we hit both. And we talk frequently about taking profits. Would you rather have 15% or 0.6-ish, 0.8-ish?
I'd go with the first one, Bob.
Right. And we're having that curl. We're showing support. And we're off. If you felt like you missed out on Chainlink, and trust me, Link has a long way to go. I won't get into all my thoughts on Link now. But we're off from here. Stabilization, curl, entry, holding support to the upwards of that resistance at a quick 11%, 12%. With a possible come down to probably here. Our target when we did this was here. So, I mean, worst case scenario, with all the shit that's happened, you're still in profit. And you're still in a good position to where it looks like we're going to go back to our target. But if you're swing trading, nothing goes up forever. We need this weekend. We needed this weekend so badly because there has been so much opium, so much green, all of it. We want this bull run to last. We want this bull run to go 12, 15, 18 months. In order to do that, in order to be successful, we have to do what we started with on this show, which was the retracements. These are healthy. So if you're not taking profits, that's on you. You don't want a round trip, as Supreme calls it in our Discord. Round tripping is you buy it, it goes up, you don't take profits, it falls because everybody else took profits and you didn't. And then you got to wait for it to come all the way back up to where you bought in, which becomes the new resistance. So now you're locked into this trade for weeks or moments of time because you were waiting to make profit. And all it did was tie up your capital to break even.
I took a year-long trip, with a round trip with Phantom.
I was going to leave that one alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I hope this helps. remember red days, what we're going through. I hope if you were in the Discord, you saw the plates. If you saw our last show, I said get out. I hope you did. I hope you took profits. I hope you're sitting on capital. And if you did, or if you are on capital and you didn't take profits and you are in trades, these next little bits are crucial, because what you want to do is you want to look at the trades you're in. Where are they? Are they going to level out? Because if so, and we're starting to see the money flow back in, what do? You buy the fucking coins you're in. So you dollar cost entry. You're lowering that entry cost. You have the tokens you're in, you bought them at $1 and they fell to 75 cents. You buy them at 75 cents if that's the bottom. And when it takes off back up to that $1, you're now in profit. If you don't do that, you're round tripping. If you're not taking profits, thank you for paying my bills, because I am. So I hope these last few lessons have helped. I'm excited to share with you the hunt over the next few days. We'll have a lot of new entries on some trades that are looking juicy. We showed you right now, we're starting to see some bellies on the 4 hour, but on the daily, there's still uncertainty. So because of that, I'm being patient. I will take a little bit of the last gain to minimize my loss over these next few 4 hour candles. That's all I got to say. I'm excited to see you all tomorrow, 7 o'clock, regular fixed time, cameras on, everything going, with hopefully a lot of entries for all those in our Discord, and then tuning in a little later for the show. Crypto Katie, do you have anything else you want to add?
Well, first, I'd like to say that all of this and everything you just said was not financial advice, of fucking course. I'm so glad you could join us on our midnight Tuesday into Wednesday, where we check the money flow cycle so we don't make stupid decisions, so we can, make some money together. 22 Targaryen, will you be sharing your hunts on the slow trades page?
I absolutely will. As you probably know, if you've been following us through the thick and thin lately, we've had a lot of family stuff coming up. So we've been a little distant, but absolutely, I am back. We are back, and I may even stream a hunt again. And if anybody caught our previous streams of hunts, we are in some of those in the hundreds and in the thousands of percentiles from when we first started this.
Nice work, buddy. Nice work.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't do it; the numbers do, and I'm excited to get at it. That's all I really got. I mean, if
yeah,
you have
me too, guys. I can't wait to get back to our normal time tomorrow. My dad's, alive and grumpy, so we should all be happy about that.
crotchety,
He's crotchety, adorable, funny man. Love him.
In all seriousness, blessed we're in places where he can receive help, and blessed that he's doing well.
Oh man, absolutely.
Thanks again. It was great to touch grass. I mean, I feel so rejuvenated. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little burnt out the last little while with everything on our plate, and we have a few surprises coming for you, which I think are gonna blow some minds. But this
it's good for you. It's good for you that you broke away. It's hard for you to do it. You're nonstop.
I'm looking forward to sharing some shit tomorrow. It's gonna blow some minds.
Me too, man. Well, you know what? Thanks for joining us on this midnight episode. Thanks, Pope. I had a great time.
Thank you. We kept it to 1 under an hour. I hope it helped. The sky is not falling.
Nope, you're fine, everybody. Just take a sec.
Breathe, but don't panic. Don't catch falling knives either. Let's wait for those confirmations. Wait for the candles. Happy
Later, Pope. Later, Pope.
Hey, good night to you.
Bye-bye.